Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you all back. This is Dragon Age Origins once again. And, I haven't actually really put much thought into where we're going to go next. So let us ponder. Redcliffe I'm going to save for quite a bit later. Soldier's Pass is one of the DLC areas, I think. What is this? That's weird. What the hell is this? Never heard of such a thing. Soldier's Peak. I think I'll wait on that. Could go visit the elves. Now notice how Lothering... Actually, did Lothering have that skull icon before? I honestly don't remember. Basically, there's no getting back there, and I don't... we can go back to Flemis, I think, but I don't think we can go back to Ostagar or the Korkari Wilds anytime soon. Then there's the Frostback Mountains, which I think will... I think that leads to the dwarves. I've honestly forgotten at this point. But before we move on, I do want to just have a chat with all the party members.
What do you wish of me? If you must. I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemets, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Yes, it sounds absolutely hilarious. Your mother is doing this for a long time, then?
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
So the gist of that is, you can only become a shape changer because it is one of the specializations for a mage class. So, simply not an option for us roguish types.
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
What do other animals think of you when you changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
I've never heard of magic like that before.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could. But as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
By practitioners, you mean apostates, don't you?
Not all apostates use the forbidden blood arts. Maleficarum do, but to condemn all who do not fall under the circle's thrall for the sake of what might be is a dangerous path to walk. There are those who look on the word apostate as meaning freedom.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
That would just make you angry, I think.
No doubt it would. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
Apparently I pissed her off a little bit. Let's just see.
What do you wish of me?
Let's discuss something more personal.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
She seems a lot more sociable than she was at first. Normally she's kind of on the defensive when it comes to chit-chat, so she doesn't seem very approachable. Why are you still here?
I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you. Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
Do you want to leave?
If I wanted to leave, then I would go. I remain, so do not ask such pointless questions.
Wow! I fucked up. Let's not do that. A little cheap, but I won't be having that. Alright, so doesn't seem like we can really gain any more approval from her by talking to her. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. We did find this book, if you do recall. Where is it? The Black Grimoire. So let's give it to her. She might know what to do with it.
What? You found Flemeth's grimoire? Ever since we discovered the condition of the Mage's Tower, I had wondered if it might be recoverable, but I had yet to speak of it to you. How fortunate that you found it on your own. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately.
What do you hope to find within it?
Secrets. My mother has many of them, and this tome represents the one time that they were able to get away from her. I do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting.
That's the spirit. So there, we have more than compensated for the 1 point we lost in the previous dialogue. Now, for some reason, Wynn kind of, Wait a minute, who are you? I don't know you.
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry.
Do you need anything?
There are always areas to improve on, Grey Warden. The most useful for my talents are runes.
Okay. I don't recall this fellow. Oh. Oh. I see. Give all unassigned novice runes. Let's do it. Not really gonna have much use for those.
You are wise to invest in the effectiveness of your followers.
So I don't really remember this part before, but maybe it's just because it's been so long since I've actually thoroughly played this game. This might be something that's part of the additional content, though. Hard for me to really say. Alright, well, Wynn's a new member of our party, so let's have a word with her and see what she thinks of our eclectic group so far.
It's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
Still some life in those old bones, I bet.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
Don't say those things. We still need you.
Oh, no. I'm not the sort of person that leaves things unfinished. I'll see this through, I promise.
Glad to hear it. I guess we'll talk to Liliana again.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What happened to your eyes? That's kind of creepy. Let's talk from this direction so your eyes are actually lit up.
Well, here I am.
That vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. and there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
So it's just a dream. Why say it's a vision? What? No, we're gonna go with the first one. I'll hear her out. What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
This made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
The Chantry says the Maker has left us.
He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
Leave what feels right to you, I suppose.
Thank you. It's nice to find someone who agrees. I know what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue.
It's possible. Alistair, my buddy, what do you have to say?
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
So you said this Arl Eamon raised you.
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
Whoops. Son of a bitch. It's not what I remember you telling Flemeth.
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Arl Eamon wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Why did he send you off?
Arl Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
Wasn't it inappropriate for the Arl to raise an orphan?
Probably. It was just a kindness he did to a woman who had served him anyway. I didn't sleep on silk sheets in the keep or anything. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
You were young.
And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Alright. Well, that's that. He did mention breaking the, his, amulet of Andraste. I just wonder... I think the Andraste symbols are gifts for Leliana, but I can't really remember. So let's test. What would happen if I gave this to him? Well, you seem to like it. So let's leave it at that for now. Hello, Doge.
Ugh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
I think he thinks you need more meat on your bones.
I think I have enough meat where it counts, and I certainly don't need it in my pack. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
Don't do it again. You're a war dog, not a nursemaid.
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
Good. He will fell our enemies with his stench.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Go ahead. He's getting a little rank.
Excellent. I will get my soaps, and the dog shall have his bath after supper.
Oh, man up. You've dealt with worse things than that. Alright, so I can't really say for sure if I'm ever actually going to have the dog in my party. He's just not all that useful, and I know that there was a mod to kind of expand, I think, his accessory slots to make him a little more applicable. I do have caddis for him, don't I? Yeah, might as well. And how is this compared? 2 Constitution. That sounds better to me. Alright, well, there will come a point later in the game, towards the end, where you almost certainly will have to use just about all of your party members, so might as well keep them in tip-top shape. I'm wondering if it's possible that Bodon sells
If there's anything I can do, I'm
maybe a recipe? Oh wow, he's got some serious runes. Like maybe, I can't remember how you find recipes for like poultices and potions and such. Oh well, no matter. Alright, so where shall we go next? Maybe we can just kind of take care of one of the extra things.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, screw Sten. We'll take the dog for now. Get him a little exposure on the battlefield. Now this sounds interesting. I don't know what this is, so I say we take care of this now. I am curious indeed. Denerim.
I bring word, sire. There are demands from the Bann that you step down from the Regency. They are said to be gathering their forces, as are your allies. It appears it will be civil war after all, despite the Darkspawn. Pity. I also have an interesting report. There seem to be Grey Wardens who survived Ostagar. How, I don't know. But they will act against you. I have arranged for a solution, with your leave.
The Antivan Crows send their regards. An assassin?
Against Grey Wardens, we will need the very best, sire.
And the most expensive.
Just get it done.
Take a closer look at the unarmed man. King Kaelin's honor guard, eh? Fluidity of his allegiances, eh? I am doubtful. If we stick around, they might kill this guy, so let's intervene a little bit. Oh, well. Seems I missed my chance anyway. Now, before we continue, I just wanted to point out an interesting fact. The fellow that we saw talking to Loghain in that little cutscene, he is actually the pretty much the primary antagonist, or the personal antagonist, for the any character of the human noble origin. He's kind of the betrayer. He plays that role the same way you get betrayed, or you have an antagonist in every single one of the origins, and he simply happens to be the one for the human noble. And that's why that's actually one of my more preferred origin stories. Because you actually, after a great deal of time, you actually manage to get your vengeance. I think the dwarf noble is the same way, actually. So let's level up the Doge. He doesn't really get much. What does it say she can level up? Oh, she can't level up because we're in battle. Alright. So how shall we approach? Let's just see what goes on. Oh, they've got arrows. Alright, let's actually send Dogface and Alistair to try and kind of hold the front there. You should not be doing that. That's a terrible idea. Doge. Dread Howl. I think that's the one that stuns everyone. Let's do that. Get them all stunned. Some extra. Damn it. Not stunned for long enough. Wow, this guy's tough. Let's get him down right quick. Alistair's getting rocked. So, take one of those. We do need some legit poultices. Oh god, the dog's getting rocked too. Oh, fucking hell! Alright. Might as well do this while we have the chance. Bear shape. This can be useful, I'm sure. So let's go with that. I can't level up the dog now. Oh well. Alright, let's let them all get this way, please. Alright, Alistair, pummel this fool immediately. You go that way. Morrigan. I don't want you to cold some fools. Try and avoid us, though. Oh, and I just ran right into it. That's brilliant. Not today. Ah, come on. Be unfrozen. Alistair, you're already fucking dying. Jesus. God, you're terrible at this. Alright, she's doing that. I want this immediately afterwards. There we go. Hopefully that's enough to keep Alistair alive. Gotta kill this fool real quick. Why aren't you backstabbing? There we go. Let's see, we got 2 archers down there. Who are you using that on? I don't want you to use it on him. Alistair, I'm not gonna... Ah, fuck it, use a poultice. It's less valuable than the, injury kits, so... Get him stunned, get behind him. Stabs in the back. Went a little better than usual. Man's face is unmistakable. You remember him as Elric Maraigne, a member of Kaelin's honor guard at Ostagar. I don't remember him at all. But it makes no difference because he's quite dead. Oh, wow. No, he's not.
Thank you. I didn't expect the Bann's men to notice my escape so quickly. I tried to hide here in the woods, but there wasn't time. And now I'm a dead man.
What do you mean there wasn't time?
You were there in Ostagar. You know how things went. For me, it was either this, or die in some darkspawn's belly, or be hung as a deserter.
You deserted?
I dare say most people think the same of you and me, if not worse.
I fled the battlefield when Loghain betrayed us. I abandoned my men, and they died. And Kaelin with them. He was my king, my friend, maker. All that time in Bann prison. And I couldn't stop thinking about all they suffered that one dark night at Ostagar.
It's not your fault they died.
I know. Even had Loghain's men not turned their backs on us, the Darkspawn were too many. Even Kaelin, for all his bravado, knew there would be no victory at Ostagar. The king entrusted me with the key to the royal arms chest. If anything were to happen to him, he said, it was vital I deliver it to the wardens.
And guess what I just so happened to be? Why didn't he just get the key to Duncan?
He didn't get the chance. Duncan was so busy with the new recruits and keeping Loghain at bay. Whatever his reasoning, it's me Kaelin entrusted it to.
Do you still have this key?
The Maker has a sense of humor, doesn't he? I suppose it's for the best, however. Had I kept it, it would be in Bann Loren's hands by now.
Why am I not surprised? Is there someone else we should be bringing back from the brink of death instead?
I was afraid. I thought I would lose it on the battlefield, so I stashed it in the camp. Please, it's probably still there.
You don't think the Darkspawn found it?
I hope not. Would they know how to work the lock, even if they did? The key's behind a loose stone, the base of a statue. I'll draw a map for you, so you'll know where to search.
You'll be taking me along, won't you? And Win as well, I suspect. Call me sentimental, but we left behind some Darkspawn that really deserve a drubbing.
It is vital that the king's documents do not fall into the wrong hands. As for Maric's sword, it is too powerful to be pawed at by those monsters. Same for the king's other arms and armor. And if you happen to find Kaelin's body, see it off. He was our king. He shouldn't be left to rot amidst the Darkspawn's filth.
And that's it for him. So, that's interesting. Alright, so this is actually how you begin the Return to Ostagar quest. I wasn't really sure. That's one of the bonus, or one of the DLC quest-a-majigs. Alright, so let's just nab some plants while we're here. And some loot. Whoa. He had some stuff he did.
On it.
Sure is. Great deal of elf fruit around here. So I'm kind of wondering why this all happens so far to the north of Ostagar. I think there's actually a yeah, so this is how you can return to Ostagar. In the base game without any DLC, you could not do that. It was pretty much blocked off for life. Ooh. Hardened studded leather. Wow, it's a lot more stuffy stuff. But since I don't get a set bonus, I'm not going to use it for now. Is the chainmail any good for you? It's too heavy for you. It is absolutely powerful. I just don't know if it's worth it since you lose so much stamina. Alright, Doge. So with that done, I think I'm going to wait on the return to Ostagar, I think. What the hell are you doing, Morrigan? I'm gonna wait on the return to Ostagar thing because I think there's something special if you bring a particular character that you can only get towards the end of the game. Now, Soldier's Pass is another one. I think I had actually done this, even though I didn't own any DLC. So it could be one of those that, like, you can start it, but it's another one of those that you have to have the DLC to actually finish. And it seems we have run into an encounter of sorts. Or perhaps it's just like one of these encounters I'd run into. I thought it was the same thing. A traveler.
Oh, thank the Maker. We need help. They attacked the wagon. Please help us. Follow me. I'll take you to them.
Hey, who says I want to? As you can well imagine, there's something foul afoot here. So, you have to be at the ready. Why does a fucking phone keep ringing? What the hell? What the hell? Just a little skippy little crow.
Trap!
Trap? Where trap? There it is. Let's get this out of the way now.
Trap!
We're going to need...
Trap!
Oh, bugger. Alright, this is going to be a little rough. Does this asshole look familiar? Look at those little birds. Well, there are quite a lot of fools. Oh, wow. So you know, there's 2 Grey Wardens here. Alright, alright. How shall we do this? So there's Zevran. He is an assassin, part of a group known as the Antivan Crows, who are rough bastards indeed. So let's try and take care of some business here. Alright, Doge, I need you to come on, get moving. Alright, where is Zevran? God damn, my character's already really hurt. There he is. Alright, so he's been... I need him to go down real quick. So I'm gonna... Oh, Lord help me. What the hell just happened? Wow, we're all dying. This is unbelievable. What just happened? Oh my god, she's a mage? Alright, well this is off to a horrible start. Okay, this is fucked up. I have never seen anything like that in my life. I have no idea what just happened.